Welcome back to Kody's show. Today, we're diving deep into the story of Sister Wives star Christine Brown and the reactions, or perhaps the lack of reactions, from her ex-husband, Kody Brown, and his wife Robyn, following the release of Christine's much-talked-about tell-all memoir. If you love getting the latest updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Christine Brown has been a fan favorite on Sister Wives for years, admired by many for her honesty, warmth, and the courage she showed when she made the life-changing decision to walk away from Kody Brown after more than 2 decades of marriage. Now, Christine has released her book, Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, finding freedom. The title alone gives you a glimpse into what the book is about, her journey from a life that once defined her into a life where she finally found her own happiness and independence. The response from fans has been nothing short of overwhelming. Christine's book quickly shot up the charts, landing in the top 3 of Amazon's most sold nonfiction books. Readers are leaving glowing reviews, praising her bravery for telling her truth and giving insight into what life was really like inside the plural marriage that captivated audiences for over a decade on TLC. But while fans are thrilled, Kody and Robyn's reaction, or silence, is raising just as much curiosity. Christine herself admitted in a recent interview that she never gave Kody, Robyn, or even Meri a heads up about the book. She didn't offer them an advance copy, and she says it never even crossed her mind that she should. The only people she shared some details with were her 2 sisters, and of course Janelle, since she and Christine still remain close. Christine laughed about it, saying that maybe she should have thought to send Kody a copy, but ultimately, she didn't. And in truth, she doesn't even know if Kody and Robyn will ever read her words. But whether they do or don't, Christine feels at peace with her decision to publish her story. As for Kody's reaction, Christine was candid. She said he's not the type to directly call her or express his feelings. If he is upset, and Christine strongly suspects that he is, she'll only hear about it secondhand through whispers or gossip. And honestly, she doesn't seem too bothered. Her response was simple. If he's upset, he's upset. That's his choice. It's an attitude that shows how far Christine has come. For years, she lived in a family dynamic where her feelings often took a backseat. Now, she has drawn boundaries, written her truth, and refuses to live in fear of someone else's reaction. Of course, the release of Christine's memoir has reopened conversations about the Sister Wives family as a whole. Christine was the first wife to leave Kody, announcing her split in 2021, after more than 25 years of marriage. It was a shocking announcement at the time, but it also seemed like the start of a domino effect. Not long after, Janelle left in 2022, followed by Meri in 2023. Today, Robyn remains the only wife still married to Kody. In her book, Christine reflects not just on her relationship with Kody, but also on her relationships with the other wives. When it comes to Meri, Christine didn't hold back. She explained that she has no relationship with Meri now, and that there will never be one in the future. While she wishes Meri well and is glad to see her living a new life with friends and freedom, Christine knows the trust is broken forever. For her, once a relationship becomes toxic or unhealthy, she doesn't let it back into her life. Christine also went into detail about an incident from years ago that permanently altered how she viewed Meri. She shared a story about her daughter, Mykelti, and Meri's child, Leon, when they were still kids. According to Christine, Meri once yelled at and embarrassed Mykelti over something small. To Christine, that moment crossed a line. It was a defining point that made her realize she didn't want to maintain a close friendship with Meri anymore. For Christine, protecting her children and her peace became more important than keeping the appearance of unity. Now, when asked whether she would be interested in hearing Kody's side of the story, Christine had a surprising answer. She said she would actually love it if Kody wrote a book of his own. In fact, she encouraged him to do it. She pointed out that her memoir is her perspective, her truth, shaped by her experiences and feelings. But if Kody has a different version, she thinks people would be curious to hear it. Her words carried a hint of sarcasm, but also honesty. People would probably buy his book just to figure out how his mind works. It's this mixture of humor, honesty, and boldness that has made Christine's book so successful. Fans feel like they're finally hearing the unfiltered truth about what went on behind the scenes. And for many, it confirms what they've suspected for years about the dynamics in the Brown family. Let's also take a step back and consider the bigger picture. Sister Wives began over a decade ago with the Brown family presenting themselves as a polygamist family, trying to show the world a different perspective on plural marriage. At first, many viewers were curious and even fascinated. But as the seasons went on, cracks in the relationships became impossible to ignore. Christine's struggles with feeling undervalued, overlooked, and dismissed were visible to viewers, even if they weren't fully explained at the time. Now, through her memoir, Christine has filled in the blanks. Fans are connecting the dots between what they saw on TV and what Christine actually experienced in her day-to-day life. As for Robyn, her silence about the memoir is also telling. She has long been viewed as Kody's favorite, the wife who seemed to receive more time, more affection, and more influence than the others. Christine has spoken openly about feeling like she was competing for Kody's attention, only to constantly lose out to Robyn. With Christine gone and the other wives also stepping away, it seems Robyn is the last one standing. But even that dynamic has created its own set of challenges for her and Kody, challenges that Christine no longer has to deal with. What makes Christine's book so powerful is that it's not just gossip or behind-the-scenes secrets. It's a story of transformation. It's about how a woman who once lived under the weight of someone else's expectations found her own voice and her own freedom. For Christine, writing the memoir wasn't about revenge. It was about closure. It was about documenting her truth for herself, for her children, and for anyone else who might be trapped in a relationship or situation where they feel silenced. Now the big question remains, will Kody ever respond? Will he ever share his side of the story, either in interviews or through a book of his own? So far, he has stayed quiet, and for many fans, that silence says everything, whether out of pride, anger, or simply a desire to avoid giving Christine more attention. Kody has chosen to remain in the background. But as time goes on, the pressure may grow for him to address the claims. For now, Christine is enjoying the success of her book and the support of fans who are cheering her on in this new chapter of her life. She has moved forward, leaving the past behind, but also using it to empower herself and others. So what do you think? Should Kody respond? Do you believe Robyn will ever publicly share her thoughts on Christine's memoir? And how do you feel about Christine's decision not to give them a warning before publishing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest updates right here on Kody's show.